game 2 just play macro.
Well, we're going to find out soon what they pick in this game. In the bottom right, he only needs to win one more game to move on to the round of 16.
CJ2's effort.
One of the richest and most successful StarCraft II pro gamers in the world, he is
Gene Green Wings SOS.
Okay, so let's watch and see if it's going to be pool first and if Protoss...
This is how thrown off he is. He went 9 pylon scout.
Oh, man.
Even when you're going for like the cannon rush / just make my nexus, whatever build, like anything like that, oftentimes you scout after 13 or something. Oh, look at that. Look who gets 2 coins. Told you that would get you on the camera, and told you that would get you GSL coins.
Okay, he's going to go for the pool, it looks like. Now, keep in mind, Protoss scouted the Zerg. Zerg does not know what Protoss is up to, but Effort did send the Overlord in the proper direction, which is fortunate for him.
Yeah. This is, you know, this is a good situation for SOS here, and it was obviously a smart move by Effort. You see a probe this early, you have to think that there's a strong possibility he can rushes you if you try to go hatch first. So he's had to play that a little bit more defensively, and we can see SOS abusing this
hatch
now.
Up here? Oh, I was actually thinking he should have just gone and made it somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah, could.
I guess he's got this timed up if you notice he doesn't.
But if you go make it at the 3rd and he did make the forge, you're so far away from that pool, the cannon rush still works because it's SOS. Yeah.
Okay, well, SOS not off to a bad start so far. Nice pylon placement. That's annoying.
Yeah. I would for sure call this an advantage for SOS. Not a huge advantage. We're still in the very early game. But it's certainly, I would say, an advantage. In fact, he just blocked the 3rd hatch location. So Effort's hatchery is going to be really, really late. And this is starting to get pretty painful.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's the best answer for Effort from here. I mean, you got to think, guys, when your second hatch gets up later, you are producing everything later. Yeah. Everything that you're making comes from the hatch. So if that comes up delayed, Protoss just is an output that is much higher.
Yeah. The 3rd hatch going to be later as well. Not as late as the 2nd hatch in comparison to its normal timings. But still, this was pretty effective by SOS. He chose a fantastic build order, scouted his opponent first. Basically, both players have played everything completely correctly so far, but SOS has the advantage.
Double gas now as Protoss techs up. They are both hugging the right side of the map. Zerg should be expanding gradually towards the left side of the map. I guess he'll take his 4th there, tucked in between the 3rd and the 2nd and the 1st. But, no, I mean, overall, this is pretty straightforward for Zerg in the late game to just keep stretching out.
Now, I guess we just wait a little bit now. The game has definitely slowed down. You know, there was some really interesting mind games and tactics used right off, but as of right now, we have to wait for this core to finish, see what kind of tech he wants to go for. On Effort's side, it really looks like he's gearing up for more macro-oriented play. I don't think he's going to pull a shine and, like, you know, just go mass roaches or something. I think he's going to play, like, a pretty normal, pretty standard Zerg macro game, trying to figure out what SOS is up to.
Well, Effort's just as good at being a reactionary Zerg as he is at being, you know, the aggressive game decider Zerg.
That's very true. He's the full package. You know, we use that term every now and then about full package Zergs, Zergs that can do absolutely everything, and he's one of them.
Look at his control here.
Yeah, really fantastic on both sides.
Does decide to back off as he's multitasking a little bit back at home. Yeah, he's going to wait for some more of these lings to come up here.
Yeah, with the 6 lings, he can kill off a Zealot, but...
Oh, that's not good. Don't lose that.
5 minerals gone forever.
Yeah, man. Complete waste.
Complete waste. All right, the gases, the 2 gases finally do up. Now, those are pretty late gases. That was like 645 gases or 640,
is he
something
getting extra
like that.
gates or something? No, he's not.
No. Lots of gas he's focusing on. I think he'll probably add 2 gates and then just go for, you know, the 3rd base. That's what it looks like. It's just a very strong build. In fact, We saw him
Twilight
do
Council
this
next.
on Nimbus, I believe it was, against Shine.
Oh, there's that really good control. Oh, wow. But SOS still manages to get 2 lings.
A little bit of scouting going on, trying to figure out if anything's awry. And there actually something is awry. He has this Twilight Council, but... No, actually that's not. That's normal with this.
Yeah,
if you
it's
don't
fine.
Get
he
the
gets a
Stargate.
third Nexus
Yeah, right
next.
before the
And then
Nexus.
he upgrades Blink. It's +2. 7 gates total.
Ooh. Okay, he gets
My
it.
thoughts exactly.
Yeah, this is all very, very normal for him, so...
Yeah, it's been a pretty slow-paced game here.
Love the macro hatchet this time. He's got to make sure he's got the production. I think it's pretty obvious to him what's going on. This is like just such a common build, and SOS has already done it today. So.
Okay, so the Blink is coming here. And the Hydra Den for the Zerg.
And what we're going to want to see out of effort here specifically is some good creep spread. You know, it's when someone's going to try to hit you with +2 blink and a lot of stalkers and whatnot, you need your creep spread out there well enough that, you know, any Roach Hydra Ling can actually get favorable engagements. Because if you're off of creep, SOS is going to just pound you. At least in the first couple waves.
The Overseer, he's going to see the... gets a little changeling out. Yeah, he's going to see exactly what Protoss is doing. This is very, very safe, standard Protoss play for the current meta. The robotics facility's coming up here. He needs to get Observers, then Immortals. I'm curious as to how many Roaches effort actually makes in this situation.
I think he's aiming for more Hydras.
I think so.
Yeah,
we saw
like,
Shine make a lot of Roaches.
Yeah, Hydra Ling is
almost
good.
as if he was completely indifferent to the fact that, you know, there was Blink, Sentries, and
well, he
Immortals.
was. He's Shine. That's,
Yeah.
He doesn't care if you have the units to counter his units. He just makes more of them.
The Phoenix comes down. Fake Phoenix just checks around.
And this scout tells him everything in the whole world. He sees the macro hatch, he sees both upgrading the Roach Warren and the Hydralisk Den, and he sees the 4th base. So these guys, I feel like, are both 100% aware of what each other are doing, which means that neither of them should be able to do any real damage to each other, because they're both like of that level where it's like, well, no, we're not catching each other off guard yet. Got to do something a little bit different here, and we do have a Warp Prism on the way. That's exactly the type of thing that I think SOS needs to try to, you know, destabilize effort,
If you will. Well,
and as soon as he's unstabulatory, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something to add to this in proper English, but you're already ahead of me.
I'm really good at improper English. It's my main language, actually.
Well, we have the Warp Prism coming out now. Let's see if he keeps that with the armory, if he tries to harass. This is a lot of Hydras coming up here. I don't know if he's going to push all the way forward. The Spire is being made. Now, when you can punish a gateway wall like this, you know, with Hydras just on the outside, it's not really easy for the Protoss to use force fields as effectively.
Yeah. Hydras with range are the same range as Stalkers, so, like, the wall-in is yours to eat if you so choose to, you know? Especially when they have a small hole they're supposed to walk out through, they can't really do too much.
He might even
other than use force fields.
He's got a lot of lings. Zerg is about to hit max out. Now notice he's making a lot more lings with this while he's banking gas. So he's going to have a lot of mutas in the next phase when he transitions out of this. Protoss is supply blocked. The gateways are being torn down.
Yeah, that's cutting into his production a little bit. In the meantime, we do have a little drop in the main base, but there's a much higher army supply for Zerg, as well as a bunch of supply on the opposite side of the map.
Okay, there's the Colossus. I don't know how much. No, it's not taking any damage. Excuse me. Well, effort is certainly giving it to SOS here. He's done a lot of damage in tearing through. Now the Colossus here remaining should be able to take out the rest of this.
Yeah, I think that this actually turned out pretty well for SOS, to be honest. The entire army's gone. He did not get the Robo. He did not get the Nexus. He did not get the Colossus. What he got were a bunch of gateways and some stalkers. And
sentries.
For that big an army, yeah, and the sentries as well. For that big an army to trade that into that, I don't feel bad for SOS. I think he's okay here.
Well, for the time being, the supplies have certainly evened out. We have double Stargate here, which I think is a great response. from SOS, since he knows this is usually a Muta switch after this.
That's true.
So you might as well just preempt that. We do have still for the Zerg a good amount of gas, actually. He could make certainly some more Mutas. I don't know if that's the way he's going to stay. Did he see the double Stargates with an Overseer or something? Did I miss that?
You know, I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I don't think he knows about that, but you know, I'm feeling a little bit nervous for Effort. I think that SOS, the more I'm looking at this, it's like he's got a very nice army. It doesn't look like he's going to die anytime soon. He's got these Phoenixes basically in time to deal with this very small clump of Mutas, and when you make like 6 Mutas and they are already ready for him, that's a lot of gas kind of thrown away. I mean, I guess you have to put a certain amount of gas into Stargates and Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes can help out in other battles as well.
Again, the game kind of waning back into passivity, which is fine. I understand neither player wanted to really full-on engage the other one. SOS has a lot of minerals and gas. I'm actually kind of confused. He's got 1.6k and 400 gas, and
yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Weird.
Is he like? Is he playing a little bit like? Well, remember he did lose a lot of gates, so some of that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, if you forget to re-add your gates immediately, like his economy is over what his gates can produce. So that's part of the build-up. But maybe he's like playing it a little bit slow, trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. Like, does he put a ton of money into these Phoenixes? And he is. He's making a lot of Phoenixes. He's getting attack upgrades for air units, and he's getting the anti-impulse crystals, the range upgrade, where Effort made 4 Mutas only. So Effort is actually, with these 4 Mutas, doing a very good job because he's over-countering.
Yeah, it's actually really smart. Now, he's even showing just the 4 Mutas, but we'll have to see if he actually switches back out of Phoenixes. Now, this is a really scary ground army here. I don't know if he can get up and attack that third, but he can hit the second here and force a cancel. Look at this really nice arc here,
man. Wow, that is a lot of Zealots. He warps in quite a few as well. A lot of them over on the other side. The Phoenixes do come in and just start lifting up units, which is what he needs to do. And SOS pounding this ground army.
He's going to have to turn around now. And actually Zerg in a deficit here with supply. We do have 11 Corruptors, though. And there's really not a lot of anti-air. I mean, this is a decent number of Stalkers, but not enough for the Corruptors to not kill all the Colossi.
Oh.
He's also making 9 Mutas after this. So what he wants to do is actually take out this 4th base with the Corruptors and the Mutas.
Kind of interesting the way that this game is going. I wasn't expecting a switch back into Mutas at this point. Like, that little attack he did, I feel like that would be an attack. It makes sense to do that to try to kill off some Stalkers, but it was mostly Zealots he fought against. This was like a ground pounder army from SOS, so I'm not sure how effective this will be. You know, there's still Phoenixes out, there's some Void Rays out.
Let me tell you something. If SOS loses the 4th right now, or something like that occurs, Effort should just win the game. He's going to be on 5 bases.
That's, yeah, you know, 3 against 5 is pretty big, but is he going to be able to actually shut anything down? Like, look at this, well-placed cannons.
Yeah, that is actually a lot of cannons.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the 4 Phoenixes
amount of cannons.
with range. He's got 3 Void Rays with +1. I mean, very good targeting going down here. Look at this.
Yeah, really smart.
I think he hit this.
He needs to target down that Void Ray. There we go.
Oh my God, Effort hit this right as he didn't have enough anti-air there.
Yeah.
Like, if he waited even like a little bit longer, I think that this would have been held a lot easier, but he like cleaned up a lot of the air and everything.
SOS is just barely got enough Stalkers there that it could be a serious problem. It looks like, he's driving him out. I'm not sure if he's making more Mutas. Okay, he is. He's making 7 more Mutas and 48 Lings. Now, these little harasses with Lings are also very effective. I mean, if they're not cannons everywhere, the Mutas can just continue to fly around. And even if he doesn't take out the 4th base for the Protoss, he's at least keeping his opponent busy. And, you know, this is another nice move here, because with mass Lings coming up, if he gets rid of those Colossi. Why can't I talk? If he gets rid of those Colossi, then the Lings are just unstoppable. And he's already targeting down now.
Yeah, very true.
1 Colossi he got.
Oh, but
the Zealots.
He was actually targeting down Phoenixes there for a moment, or just kind of on auto attack against
my
Phoenixes.
God.
But, ooh, the Muta's coming against these Colossi. This could be big, as you say. But we have a lot of Zealots on a counterattack, too, which could do a lot of damage at home for Effort.
Okay, so he just sends these Lings all the way up here. Okay, now the problem is the Phoenixes, with the Phoenixes versus the Mutas, can't really be contested by the Mutas. SOS is starting to cause serious instability. back here at Effort's base.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that these Phoenixes, if they do defend everything, can actually go all the way across the map and start harassing the Zerg.
You know, he's kind of hurt the army a lot of his opponent, but he doesn't have a lot of mutas left. He doesn't have a lot of corruptors left. And he's trying to remake them. And sure, he technically has 5 bases, but these Zealots did put a hiccup into everything.
It put a hiccup in everything, indeed.
Yeah.
We have 62 workers.
Everything needs to breathe
60.
into a brown paper bag or get scared. Well, these mutas are scared. Their hiccups are gone.
Well, the Zealots are actually going. I think he's assuming that the Zerg has more of the map than the Zerg actually does. Probably from seeing Effort play in his previous game against Classic.
Yeah. This game hasn't gone Effort's way nearly as well as any of the other games.
I think he's
played.
almost, I think Effort's a little bit more ahead than he is, even though Effort, in fact, the supply is basically even with the Protoss and actually has a pretty weak army. I mean, these Phoenixes now coming in here and wrecking everything. In fact, I think this game may result in a loss. Oh my god, he found the mutas.
Yeah, he's got way too many Phoenixes. These Phoenixes will kill the Corruptors if he micros them. They will kill the mutas. They will kill drones, overlords, everything. He's got so many that Spore Crawlers don't even matter. You know, he's even got that +1 attack on. These are way too powerful at this point. You know, I feel like the story of this game has been Effort overcommitting on a couple of attacks that didn't go so well for him, and then overcommitting to Mutalisks. And you know, he's a Zerg that really does like mutas. He's like a Pringles can. When the mutas pop, they just don't stop.
That's true. When did Pringles come out, by the way? That's like an old. That was like the period where Pringles got big. Remember that? That was like right when we were young. And now they own the world, man. Pringles are like so big.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Pringles
in every
are the
country,
Illuminati.
different flavors in every different country too.
Yeah. And
well, some of them are the same, but I mean, sometimes you go to a foreign country, you're like, oh my god, they have shrimp flavored Pringles here.
Or like seaweed flavored. I really like those ones.
Yeah. I had one that was salt and vinegar. No, not salt. Salt and pepper.
Oh yeah, I've had that one.
I wasn't crazy about that one. I had one that was garlic butter too. But anyways, this game is
it's over.
Basically done. I mean, Protoss survived the attack, recuperated, and is now retaliated. And this is going to be game here. There are too many Phoenixes. There are too many Stalkers. Even without the Colossi, it does not matter. GG. We're going to go on to the final game between these two and see who's going to be the first to move out of this group here in GSL Code S.
This is a great match, but SOS showing why he chose that map. You know, he sat behind that gateway wall, and you know, he sat behind the gateway wall and held off all the attacks of Effort. Effort, like, he did definitely overcommit going up that ramp. It's nice to break the gateways down, but as that Colossus popped out, it became diminishing returns really quickly. There was the Mothership Core giving the Nexus the cannon the entire time, like whittling down that army. You know, a lot of Stalkers. That's where it really started to go south. And then that second attack to kind of clear stuff out to go mutas really didn't do much. You know, he already had charge. He warped in like 1 million Zealots. Was that 1 million or like 1,500,000 Zealots? It was a lot.
It was the latter, for sure.
Okay, yeah, 1,500,000 Zealots, cleaned up everything with those Colossi.
Now, the map choice goes to Effort. Let's see what kind of map he thinks he can play on. Again, we've really been talking about the game within the game here. Will Effort go pool first? And if he does, is SOS going to be able to predict that and try to counter it with one base? Because SOS won his last game against Zerg Shine by going for one base.
Yeah.
Does Effort mix it up, go for macro play? Does he go for the quick pool? Let's watch and see what happens here. The game is, in fact, now loading up. Remember, the winner between these two will be the first to move on to this year's final season of the GSL Code S round of